Hello, I'm Patrick Stone with Technical Support Branch. I'm running OpenRoads Designer Connected Edition 2020, Release 3, Update 9, version 10.900.91. And of the CAD standards, I'm running the version 4.03.7, which was released back on December the 10th of 2020. Okay, what I want to talk to you about today is these browser links. This can be found in our KYTC workflow under the web. And these take you to different locations on the internet to find this information. Here's what's going on. Since we've got this newer version of OpenRoads, your links won't work if your default browser is set to Bing, Google Chrome, probably Firefox, anything other than Internet Explorer. And what it'll do is, if you pick on one of these, it'll lock the program up and put you in a do loop where you've got to just kill it. So there's a couple different ways we can fix this problem. You can either set Internet Explorer to be your default browser, and that causes other problems because Internet Explorer is being phased out and it always wants to default you to like Microsoft Edge or Bing or something else. But that's one option. The other option is you can come up here and you can just bypass this error for the time by going to customize the ribbon. What we're going to do here is find the web address. And so you go to KYTC, web, and we'll drill down here. We're going to look at this Lidar Tiles in particular. And here is the web address. And you can just highlight that, and you can do it with any of these commands. Copy it, and then you can hop into Bing or whatever your default browser is, and it should work. Let's see, because we're getting outside of MicroStation, and MicroStation Connect is the issue. But since OpenRoads sets on top of it, then that's what you got to deal with. Anyway, you're probably used to seeing this. I'm just going to go to somewhere I'm familiar with. I'll just pull up my house here just so I can see that we're getting the right mapping and everything. In order to download this, you're going to left click, and we've got two available dates. You got 2012, 2019, and we'll download this. It is a 1.4 version format, but that's not really that big a deal because OpenRoads handles that now. Now your SS2 products, you'd have to convert it to a 1.2 version in order to use it. And we're going to save as, and I'm going to stick this in my Lidar working folder outside of Project Rise for right now, just for this demo. Okay, and we're done with this website here. Don't need to look at that anymore. What we'll do is we'll go and import this. We'll go to modeling, and you can get to the point clouds here, or you can type it over here. There's several places to get to it. But what we're going to do right now is just convert this LAZ file. So we're going to go to all, and it's just the compressed version of that tile. We'll open that. We're going to leave these settings the way they are. Attach, yes, US survey feet. Okay. I don't really want to save the pod file. It's converting it to a pod file. I don't want to save that in Project Wise at this point. So I'll stick it on my local drive. And it'll import the points. And all we're really doing is we've converted that LAZ to a pod, and then we're going to save it back out as an LAS, and we'll re-import that. Okay, we've got this imported here. It shows you what you're going to get there. And then we're going to export this. We're going to export it to an LAS file. We're going to leave all this on here. I'm going to make sure that I just pick the ground line. All these probably are checked in yours, and get what you want out of here. Generally, we just want ground. They get really large, these files do, if you convert everything. We'll do that. We're going to pull that in as an, save that as an LAS, the same directory that we had all of our other files located in. And before we get out of that, let's detach this, because if not, you're going to have both. You're going to have the pod file and the LAS. So we're going to import. We're going to close the point cloud here. We're going to import this from file, and we're going to import this LAS file. Add, done. And it'll take a second to start churning away. And pull that file in. Give it a second to pull up. I'm going to take the defaults on this. Now, if you wanted to append it to an existing, you could follow these. One thing I did want to point out was I'm going to import the terrain only. Now, if you remember in your class that we took from CAD Productivity, they go over this in detail on why you would want to import the terrain, when you'd want to do import features only, and when you want to do both. But since this is a Lidar tile, I'm just going to do the terrain only. We're going to import that. While that's churning, it'll take a little while. These files are pretty big. So bear with me. And I just set the feature definition to 50 scale boundary on this. And that way you don't have to wait for it to regenerate all the contours or triangles or anything like that. So now we've got one in here. It's imported. You would set it as active in reference to your other ones. But if you wanted to turn on, just for instance, let's turn on the major contours just so you can see. So you see we've got contours. And what I generally like to do is flip these puppies up on their end so you can make sure you don't have like a spike or something shooting down into hell that's going to mess up your surface. So anyway, that's how you import them. That's how you work around the problem with the browsers in this version of OpenRoads. And send us any questions you have to KYTC CAD support. Hope this helps.